States Senator Patrick Murphy. Florida, we got 5 more days. 5 more days. I love you too, but I got some business to do here today, so 5 more days to decide the future of this country that we love. Now, the good news is you don't have to wait until Election Day to vote. What does that say up there? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What does it say up there? I'm still not hearing it. What? Oh, really? If you are registered, you can vote right now at any early voting location. In fact, there's one just 10 minutes away at the International Mall Branch Library. Go ahead and plug this in your phones if you haven't voted. It is at 10315 Northwest 12th Street in Doral. I mean, we're making this really simple for you. I am telling you right now where you can go vote after this rally. Now, if you are just watching on television, or you're not from around here, and you're trying to figure out, well, where else could I vote? Then you go to iwillvote.com, and it will give you additional locations, iwillvote.com. If you're voting by mail, don't let that thing just sit on your coffee table or your kitchen counter, and then you forget about it. It gets mixed up with some other stuff. Send in your ballot right now, so it makes it by Election Day. The point is, we got work to do to finish what we started 8 years ago. I have to say that I've been going to some college campuses, and I realized that 8 years ago, some of you were 10. That makes me feel a little old. But you say that like that. Michelle agrees. For those of you who maybe were a little older and might remember, in 2008 we were living through 2 long wars. And we were about to enter into the worst economic crisis in the last 80 years. But you know what? Because of some hard work, we turned the page. And the world is now bottom back. Last year, incomes rose faster than any time at least since 1968. Poverty fell at the fastest rate at least since 1968. We created 15 million new jobs. 20 million people have health insurance for good health. You know, can I just say, I was driving through North Carolina yesterday. North Carolina in the house. And we passed by a gas station. And I don't have to stop usually at the gas station because, you know, the beast, the motorcade, they're always full. Service is taking care of that. But I noticed gas at $1.99. The reason I make this point is because I think in 2008 they were predicting that if Obama got elected, gas would be $6. Sometimes it's useful to check the tape. See what they said before. It turns out what they said was wrong. that means is what they're saying now is probably also wrong. Anyway, I just wanted to do that little detour. But in addition to... Right, thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama!
So, kicked our addiction on foreign oil, doubled our production of clean energy, have done more to battle climate change than any time in our history of the world. We brought home more of our men and women in uniform. So guys, this son of a gun. Systematically rolling up ISIL in Iraq.
Yeah.
And by the way, back home, we made sure that in all 50 states, people have the freedom to marry who they want. So there's a reason why I've got gray hair. Because I've been busy. And most of all, across these 50 states that I've traveled, what I've seen is the thing that really makes America great. I've seen the American people. People of every party, every faith, every race, every region. People who know we're stronger together. Men and women. Black, white, Latino, Asian. The America we love. And there's only one president in this race who has devoted her life to building up that America. And that is the next president of the United States of America. And make no mistake, Florida, all the progress we made goes out the window if we don't get this elected. So we've got to work our hearts out this week. We've got to work like our future depends on it because it actually depends on it. And listen, especially for the young people out there, I know some of you, this is your first election where you've been paying attention. And you know when you look at it, you're saying, man, this is really nasty. But down here, every ad is just depressing. And there's negative ads, and there's noise, and there's distractions. And sometimes the temptation is to tune it out, and you want to just focus on the Cubs winning the World Series. By the way, even for a White Sox fan, it's a pretty big deal. Because they're so good.
Let's go, White Sox!
Because the Cubs have been waiting like 108 years. I was watching something on television that explained that the last time the Cubs had won, Thomas Edison was alive, and he hadn't invented sliced bread yet. So you know the expression, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread? This is actually, for Cubs fans, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Congratulate the Chicago Cubs. It's tempting to want to not really focus on our government, our politics, but this election is critical. And the good news is, once you get past all the noise, and all the distractions, and all the okie doke, the choice could not be clearer. Because Donald Trump vote. what he owes them, work they've done. He thinks it's cute or smart or funny to basically not pay somebody who's done work for him and say, go ahead and sue me because I got more money than you, and he can't do anything about it.
Boo!
Here's somebody who, for decades, has refused to release any tax returns. And maybe it's because he's not as rich as he says he is, but he has admitted he does not pay federal income taxes for years. Not a dime. So he's not helping to support our troops or our veterans. He's not helping to build roads or build schools or help young people finance a college education. He's not putting anything in. He's taken a lot out, but hasn't put anything in. He says that he's going to be his own foreign policy advisor. He says that's because he's got a good brain. I won't opine on his brain. What I can say is that anybody who suggests that America should torture people or ban entire religions from entering America or insults POWs or attacks a Gold Star mom, don't boo. Or talks down about our troops, that's not somebody who's fit to be president. Listen, you even have a Republican senator saying you cannot afford to give the nuclear codes to somebody so irrational. And as Hillary points out, anybody that you can bait with a tweet is not someone you can trust with nuclear weapons. Anybody who is upset about a Saturday Night Live skit, you don't want in charge of nuclear weapons. No, I'm serious. This is a guy who tweets. I don't like how I was old balls. Imitate me. Really? I mean, that's the thing that bothers you when you want to be president of the United States? Come on, man. If he didn't, then I wouldn't have to go around getting everybody to vote. He's got some support. And the most frustrating thing is, some of his support's coming from working folks. People say, well, you know, he's going to be our voice. Are you serious? This is a guy who spent 70 years, his whole life, born with a silver spoon, showing no respect for working people.
None.
He spends a lot of time with celebrities, spends a lot of time hanging out with the really wealthy folk, but you don't see him hanging out with working people. Unless they're cleaning his room. Or on the fairways on his golf club. You're going to make this guy your champion if you're a working person? Without ever showing any regard for working folks. But he has insulted minorities and immigrants and Muslims and Americans with disabilities. That's the voice you want? No! He's bragging about how being famous lets you get away with what would qualify as sexual assault.
No!
Calls women pigs and dogs and slobs. And when he pays attention to women, it's because he's grading them on a scale of 1 to 10. What kind of message do you say? If that's our voice. I tell you what, we're going to teach our kids. I want to teach all American kids that our diversity is our strength. In America, it's not about what you look like, but who you are, what you do, and what your character is. Women are not just full and equal citizens, they may be a lot more capable of doing what a man can do. But the problem is that he has said so much stuff, and our culture and our media has just gotten so reality TV-ized. I know that's not a word. But you get my drift. It's become normal when somebody just says wacky stuff. As long as they're famous, we think it's okay.
No!
And you hear people justifying it. They're all like, well, you know, maybe it's just locker room talk. Or I don't like what he's saying, but as long as he supports Republican policies and he cuts taxes for the welfare, that's what I care about. Saying character doesn't matter. Let me tell you something about this office that I've been in for 8 years. Who you are, what you are, does not change after you occupy the Oval Office. All it does is magnify who you are. All it does is shine a spotlight on who you are. If you disrespected women before you were in office, you will disrespect women as president. If you accept the support of Klan sympathizers before you are president, you will accept their support after you're president. If you disrespect the Constitution before you're president and threaten to shut down the press when it says something you don't like, or threaten to throw your opponent in jail in a live presidential debate without any regard for due process, if you discriminate against people of different faiths before you are president, then that is what you will do in office, except you will have more power to carry out twisted notions that you had before you were in office. So you can't make excuses for this stuff. This isn't a joke. This isn't Survivor. This isn't The Bachelorette. This counts. This has to do with what's going to happen in your family, in your community, to soldiers and veterans, the safety of our kids. Listen, I'm a strong Democrat, but I tell you what, we aren't born Democrats or Republicans, we're Americans first. I have good friends who are Republicans, and I know they don't think this way about women. They don't think this way about Muslims. They don't think this way about immigrants. What they are doing is something different entirely. It is different from what we have seen before. And the good news is all of you are uniquely qualified to make sure that this uniquely unqualified person does not become president. All you got to do is make sure that you go out there and you vote. The other good news is you don't just have to vote against this guy because you have a candidate who's actually worthy of your vote. Somebody who is studied. Somebody who is tested. Perhaps the most qualified person ever to run for this office, our next president, Hillary Clinton. Think about how she got her start. While Donald Trump and his developer dad were being sued by the Justice Department for denying housing to African-American families, Hillary was going undercover from school to school to make sure minority kids were getting an equal shot at a good education. She has been stopped fighting for justice, fighting for equality ever since. Her heart's always been in the right place. Works hard every single day. I know she worked hard when she was running against me. I was worn out. She worked hard when she was working for me. flashy. They weren't always fully appreciated, which is true for a lot of the work that women do, by the way. Just want to make that observation. She made me a better president. She understands policy. She understands how the world works. She understands that this stuff that we do, the challenges we face, aren't abstract. They mean something to real people. She knows that she's got to work hard because you are out there working hard. And by the way, she doesn't whine or complain or blame others or suggest everything's rigged when things aren't going her way. She just works harder. She just comes back better. Because she knows no matter how hard things may be for her, there are a lot of people who are having an even tougher time trying to pay the bills, trying to find a job, trying to finance a college education. So she doesn't have time to whine. She just gets up and does the work. And she knows the decisions you make as president mean something to that soldier or that veteran or their military families. The parents trying to make ends meet, they need a president who cares and knows what they're doing. And a student trying to go to college for the first time needs somebody with an actual plan to help them. Then a young person who was brought to this country as a child, has never known another country, is American by every standard except they need to have a chance to get back to this country to the United. She's got plans that will actually help these people. She's going to be a leader who actually values hard work, respects working Americans. And she will be an outstanding commander-in-chief because she's been in the room when tough decisions are made. You worry about keeping America safe, she'll do it because she knows our military and knows our diplomats. She doesn't just talk about it. She doesn't play one on TV. She's been there. She will be a smart, steady president for the United States. One thing I got to remind you though is she's not going to do it all. That's why we got to have a Congress that is also focused on you. Patrick Murphy, he's got the same values Hillary does. Unlike his opponent, Marco Rubio, Patrick, don't. What are you supposed to do? Unlike his opponent, Marco Rubio, Patrick actually shows up to work. He puts you out of politics. He didn't try to defund Planned Parenthood. He didn't think that some politicians should be making decisions. He said, let women make their own health care decisions. He didn't walk away from the Latino community when the politics got tough. He kept on. Patrick kept on fighting for comprehensive immigration reform and a pathway to citizenship. He actually believes in science, and as a consequence believes climate change is a problem for the people of the world. Patrick Murphy brought Democrats and Republicans together to fund Everglades restoration. He has a track record of caring about the environment. As your next senator, he and Hillary will help protect this planet for our kids and help make sure that Florida is protected against some of the worst consequences of climate change. This should be a no-brainer. And there's one other big difference between Patrick and Marco. Marco supports Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, earlier this year, he called Donald a dangerous con artist. He said that Donald Trump has spent a career sticking it to working people. And then